week, kind of, how do you balance, obviously you are trying to correct some things, maybe change some things, but also can't make wholesale changes at this point. So, like, what's kind of like that balance like right now?
You know, it's an unusual bye week in that it's not a full 2 weeks. We play on Thursday, so it's in that little bit of, the coaches get crazy about what day is this, and, we're already talking about Sunday being Tuesday, and all that stuff drives you crazy. But we came in Sunday, and we spent all day Sunday just on us. We didn't do anything with SMU. I mean, we always watch the tape and do that, but then usually we have to dive into SMU. We go out and have a little, quick workout, and then all night we're on SMU. We didn't do that. We went back and watched and talked about, what are we good at? What are we not good at? What do we need to improve at? What's our personnel? What should we be doing differently? Just all that stuff all Sunday. And then Monday we did start to get in on SMU a little bit. But every day we've taken a little bit of the corrections because we've had a little bit more time. We haven't just spent the whole time on SMU. I think you get stale if you do 2 straight weeks. I think the players get bored with it, like that. So you can't just, you can't just throw it all away. We don't really think we need to throw it all away. We think we need to just play maybe with more confidence offensively. We're just kind of just not making the play we need to make. Now we've improved a lot. Obviously the success rate's not there. I mean, and it's a win business, so we all get that. But it was really our best game offensively from top to bottom. We controlled the game. That's what's so disappointing is that time of possession, we had the game totally in control. Our penalties were down. They're still a little high. 1 turnover. It was a costly turnover. We were down there ready to score. It was a turnover right after a penalty when we had it, first down on the 18-yard line. But there was a lot of things like that. We threw the ball better. We still dropped too many, but we did make some plays. So it's just everything we're trying to improve on and get some confidence. So what I talked to the offense about this week was we met as a group, which we don't do a lot, but we just said, okay, good time to just start over. You know what I'm saying? I know that, the world, you really can't do that, but you can control that mentally. We just said we're going to wipe the slate clean. Some guys probably think they should be playing more than other guys because you're not winning. Well, that's natural. Everybody's getting a chance this week. We do have some players that we've rested a little bit, that have played a lot of snaps, that are banged up. So we've held them. We've put other guys in there. It actually probably helped the practices be a little more spirited because there were some guys in there really trying, to earn, some respect and a job or maybe some playing time. Because, a Tuesday practice on an open week, when you're that age, you can question, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? We don't even have a game this week, so we're practicing, But it's kind of helped those because we've had 2 good practices, and we're just trying to get some confidence. How do you get confidence? Well, you're prepared, so we're just trying to get the guys to prepare harder and put it together and just let it go and not worry about messing up as much. I think they really are doing that right now a little bit.
Did you anticipate a learning curve like this at the beginning of the season?
Well, I told my wife to hold on. I told her to, bar the windows up a little bit, that, we were coming off a pretty good year offensively, and yet I didn't really think we got a lot of recognition for how good a year it was. I was a little shocked by how everybody wasn't really, understanding how good we were on offense. We scored 102 points in the last 2 games. That doesn't happen a lot. We had a lot of good stuff, and I knew we were not going to be explosive like that. There was no way we would be that. But now you're a competitor. You think, well, we can get this done. They had good attitudes. There was some good young players. So I thought we'd be better. I didn't. You never can anticipate. You never want to think that negative. I don't think of what it's been. But yeah, I knew that we would have to find a way to win some tight games. And we've been in every game except the first game. We didn't, maybe in Michigan the second half we weren't in it. But the other games we've had the lead, or it had been tied late in the game. So they were winnable games. And a couple plays here, a couple plays there, you're probably thinking you're better than you really are because you're only a couple plays better than what we are. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at with that, I think.
The drops, I think it was 6 or 7 last game. That, at what point does it become mental? When I know you guys try to avoid that, but at some point you got to address it.
You worry about that. You go back and, and try to think of all the things that you've learned in coaching from past experiences, from other coaches that, said things. I try to reflect back about when you were a player, how did you react to that coach's, the way he treated you, the way he did it. So I can be a little high strung. I know that. The kids would tell you that. Joe would back them up on that a little bit. I told them in the team meeting I was going to relax. Okay, this happened last year when Holton and me had to kind of go round and round one day out there, and he told me I needed to relax, and I said I will relax. Then you play good this week and y'all win, and we went on like a 4-game win streak. So I told him I'm going to relax. We've had some drops this week. I have not lost my cool one time this week. The thing is, the guys that have dropped them are guys that I know can catch them. That's why we're throwing it to them. That's why they're in there. And they will start making these plays. So we are trying to be positive because we don't want to just beat them down. An open week gives you the chance to do that, because though there's a sense of urgency, there's not nearly the sense of urgency this week than there will be next week or there was last week. So you can take your time, let a guy drop it, all right, clap it up, let's go,
The quarterback sneak, it looked like it was blown up from the beginning. Something didn't look right. What happened on that?
Well, first of all, shouldn't have called the play. That's one kept me awake right there. You always have 3 or 4 things. You go, man, I wished I had a time machine, or something. I'd go back and change that one. I definitely would have changed that one. I don't know that Alex was the right guy to do that with. But what happened, because there's always a reason, was he dropped the snap. Now, was snap bad? I don't know. You analyze it, but at that point, it's not about putting blame on one individual. We're all a group. You're on the 1 foot yard line, I guess that's a saying or whatever. We were close. So it's a go for situation. It's a go for situation. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The analytics were saying that. Coach makes the right decision on that. I mean, they're going to get the ball on the 1 inch line, which did not work out. Just because you make the right call doesn't always mean it works out. But, they crowded the ball. They were all sides. The guy pushed him into, I don't know if he hit the center. The center kind of says that he hit the ball, so the ball didn't get to him. And, we'd been 2 for 2 on the sneak, but maybe not on the goal line. I wished I wouldn't have called that. I wished I'd have had time to call something else. But you got to make a quick decision. We were so close, to it. And, that's that game. That game is we settled for 3 field goals. One of those we dropped the ball in the end zone, perfect throw, and then we didn't score there. But, we've emphasized some goal line stuff this week. Today we did a lot more goal line than we ever do. Coach, had a lot to do with that. He kind of emphasized that, and I learned a long time ago, you follow your last direct order. And so we worked a lot of goal line. But you know what? We're 4 for 5 on the goal line, inside the 5 yard line. We had scored every time up until then. And really, you're not on the goal line that much in today's football anymore. But we have been a little bit more than usual. We've had 5 times now we've been on the 3 yard line or inside. We've scored 4. But that one we didn't score was a big one, because we left 11 points out there that would have been just easy. Wouldn't have to do anything special. Get it in from the foot-yard line, catch the ball, and the kid's got great hands. That's why he was the guy we threw it to, because he's got the best hands on the team. So that's a long answer for that, I know, but you knew me.
We're trying to get the ball to Javius on the screen, and obviously the pick was thrown. How frustrating is it to try to get him the ball in space and not work out? But also,
yeah, that's another one I regret. We had put that play in. It was a throwback screen. It was what I had down for a second long call. It was a 1st and 20 call when I called it, which that had nothing to do with it. The reason I regret it is I don't think we practiced it enough. We didn't execute it. It was supposed to have been a slow, like a delay screen, and I just don't think I coached it well enough, and Javius took off. So the linebacker had him man coverage. Well, you got to block the guy that's covering the back on a screen if it's man coverage. And Jacob Sacred knew that. He recognized the defense, smart player, and said, Coach, I knew he was in man. I was trying to block him. I couldn't catch up to the linebacker. And when we looked at the tape, then we're like, well, when you run a screen, the lineman has to get out in front, and then the back's taught never leave till the lineman leave. And Javius, being fast to start with, took the fake and jumped out and got in front of the lineman, so the linebacker got in an unblockable position. And, you still can't throw into something, you got to see what you throw. But that was really on me. I feel bad that we didn't practice that enough. It wasn't ready. We'd had first down on the 18-yard line. We got a holding call, and it put us back. And I was kind of looking to just find some way to make a big play to get us back on schedule. And I regret that one.
We saw Emmanuel Poku get in the game with the game on the line. I mean, kind of a tough spot for him, but just kind of walk us through his story. He's kind of coming out of nowhere to play.
Yeah, he's a kid that was playing soccer at Olympic High School in Charlotte, North Carolina, just about 3 or 4 years ago. And somebody's like, dude, you need to be playing American football, you know what I'm saying? And so they got him out, and he's got a lot of ability, but, he was such a late guy getting to the scene, that nobody really offered him. So he walked on. It was a great find for us. And we knew he had some ability, just got to learn some football again. He only played 2 years of high school football. And so he's been practicing well. We were using him a little bit as the extra tight end since Antonio Ferguson has been hurt. So we were putting him in those situations just to get him some playing time, and he performed well. So we're getting a little more confidence. Owen kind of re-aggravated a little bit his leg, wasn't doing as well. And Coach Moger said, hey, I'm going to put Poco in. I was like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we're having a little issue right there getting that guy blocked. And you know what? He brought great excitement, great energy until the last drive when it becomes, okay, you got to throw it. They know you're going to throw it. And the guy kind of maybe used him a little bit there. But he's gaining experience from that. So he's gotten a lot of reps this week. And, he's brought a lot of energy. He's one of those guys that's brought us a lot of energy. And, we've had some competitive drills. We've gone against the good on good, against our defense, and he's held his own this week. So, fingers crossed, but we're very encouraged by him. We've got 3 really good young offensive linemen. I wish they were a year older, that they're probably not ready for this level of competition, this intensity, but they're going to be good down there if we can just get to that point.
Anything else?
I think